Let's Work Miracles. I wanted to give a short encouragement from my house to yours, and today I wanted to look at Psalm 72. This one especially goes out to the parents, but even if you're not a parent, I hope that there's something good in it for you. But for those of us who are parents, especially in this time frame, today would have been a day our kids would go to school, except there's no school, and so we're doing school at home. And so, for those of you out there who have kids around that home and are thinking about things, this psalm actually has to do with father and son as well, with parent and child. So, we're told at the beginning that it's a psalm of Solomon. Solomon was one of the kings of Israel. And the first verse is, "Give your love and of justice to the king and righteousness to the king's son." And so the rest of this goes through that of like the king's son so parent child, but like the king's son, may he judge people well. May he be helpful to the poor. May he stand up for the needy. And then there's also all these blessings that are said, like, may the king's rule, may it be like the refreshing rain on freshly cut grass. Or may his rule be one that's like, it's like the sun shining until the moon is no more. It's very poetic. I like it. Like grain that's growing on hilltops. And so there's all these various uh, promises or blessings that are spoken over the king's son that Solomon is writing. This is a psalm of Solomon. And it goes through all those and saying, "Long live the king," who he's the king, right? And near the end says, "May all the nations be blessed through him, and may they bless him." So it's this double thing, like when we tell people, like, "Oh, we're blessed to be a blessing." Well, that's the picture that the king's son is supposed to be this blessing, but also speaking this blessing over him that he would be blessed. Then the last verse is what stuck out to me. Is that this ends the prayers of David, son of Jesse. So we're told at the beginning that this is a psalm of Solomon, but then Solomon tells us at the end this is actually a prayer of David, who was his father. And that this was apparently one of the last prayers of David, or the last prayer that Solomon heard David pray. And so as he's going through talking about the king and the king's son, that gives us this different picture of this psalm, that Solomon remembers his dad praying for him. Solomon remembers his dad speaking these blessings over him of the kind of leader that he was supposed to be when he became king, and saying all these good things, hopefully, about what his leadership was going to be like. And so, as a parent, pray for your kids and let them know that you're praying for them. Speak blessings over them and let them hear it. Just like Solomon heard his father pray and speak blessings over him, we can do the same. And so, yes, there's all this craziness that's going on, and trying to do schoolwork and making sure kids are still eating healthy and hopefully getting outside a little bit to play and all of these things. But in the middle of that, don't forget to just like speak a blessing over your kids.